match them with your exercise of the week. So this week we're going to do an exercise that focuses on these upper ab muscles. So we need those for a nice tall posture and for some shoulder stability through here. So that's the focus. We're still going to be using the lower abs to keep the pelvis nice and stable as well. And we're going to be working from a place of extension to flexion in the mid-back. So it gets a little bit of mobility in that thoracic area, the mid-back area of your spine as well. So we're going to use this. I just think these are just one of the greatest things ever and worth the purchase. They're pretty inexpensive and you can do lots and lots of things with them. So it's an Overball or a Pilates ball. This one I haven't blown up very much. So you can make them bigger or smaller depending on what you want to do. This one, for this exercise, the bigger the ball, the harder the exercise because it's going to take you further into extension. So you can decide what you want to do, and you will know your body and your back issues if you have any, so just be aware of those. So we're going to start with the ball just at the base of the shoulder blades in the middle of the spine. So if you find the base of your shoulder blades, go a little bit lower and just in the center. Really, so it's placed opposite the upper abs, which are just below the sternum here. Okay, so that's your focus point. Put it on here, wiggle down a bit, find the right spot. My knees are bent, my feet are flat, hip width parallel to each other. My knees are hip width, and I'm going to lie down here. So my pelvis is not in neutral. I'm keeping a long spine, but you'll notice that from my tailbone up, because I've got the ball under my back, we don't have a neutral spine, but I still want length through the spine, okay? And I want the pelvis nice and square, both sides of the pelvis. And we're going to lie all the way back. If that's too uncomfortable for you to go all the way back, go back as far as you can handle. So we put both hands behind the head, and you want to take the weight of the head in the hands. So there's no pressure on the neck at all. And the movement and the lift, because we're going to come up like this, is not happening because the hands are lifting the head, but because you're pushing down here into the ball. Okay? So we're pushing, trying to burst the ball behind us. So I'm still making sure that my lower abs are gently pulling in, the pelvic floor is gently lifting. And I'm going to take a nice breath in before I start, and then breathing out to press down into the ball. And that pressing down is engaging these muscles here. The lower abs here are making sure I don't wiggle from side to side or I don't tilt my pelvis forward and back. I'm keeping it nice and steady and still. So I'm breathing out, coming up as high as I can, and then breathing in to go back down. Keeping my elbows wide. If that's a bit strong for you, you can take your elbows a little closer to each other, but see if you can keep it wide, because that'll also help you open your chest. So the start position is a nice chest opener as well, because you're starting in extension, and we're breathing out. Upper abs are doing all the work, and you can even change your breathing to take an in-breath at the top if you're running out of air, and then breathing out to go back down. And you want to do it about that speed. You don't need to go any faster than that, because we're trying to teach the body good control, and we're trying to give it some feedback. If you go too fast, you're going to skip over those muscles and start using your legs and your neck and all sorts of things, which we want to obviously avoid. So you're breathing out, breathing in. If you want to focus even more on that exercise, you can think about just coming up like a centimeter off the ground and then back down. So breathing out, breathing in. So it just adds to the control factor of it. So see how you go. Aim for 10, that's a good number. And if you feel like your back's taking over, just take a break and stop the exercise and just build up slowly. But it's more important, like I always say, is how you do it, not how many you do. So build it up slowly, working the correct muscles and getting a nice strong shoulder girdle area that you can hold yourself nice and tall without gripping on with all the other bits that we don't want to grip on with.